Hello and welcome to Crypto News Australia with me, Bianca McIntyre. Today we've got Thomas Kane, the CEO of Goodwill Chartered Accountants. Welcome, Thomas.
It's good to be here.
So tell us a bit more about yourself. Can you give us a short summary about your background? What is it that you do?
I'm a chartered accountant. I've been working in the industry for 7 years. So I've set up my own company called Goodwill Chartered Accountants. And I'm just looking to help businesses improve their profits and help everyone make sure they're doing the right thing by the tax law.
Awesome. So is this regarding Bitcoins? Do you have to pay tax on Bitcoins?
Unfortunately, you do, yes. So the ATO has the view that cryptocurrency is an asset, and the asset, when it is sold, it triggers a CGT event. So it falls under capital gains tax. And then when that happens, then that's when you have to pay tax.
So do you have to declare how many Bitcoins you have on your tax return?
So that's down to an individual basis. So if you're just holding Bitcoin and you haven't actually made a sale, then nothing actually has to be declared on your tax return. But if you've made a sale and you've disposed of cryptocurrency, then that's when it has to be declared on your tax return. So only when you sell, and then it's the profits or either the losses that you make on that sale, and that's what's included on your tax return.
And what would be the penalties if I say forgot or didn't declare any of my Bitcoins?
Well, if it's just a minor mistake of you forgetting to claim it and put it on your tax return, then obviously the ATO will just get you to lodge an amended tax return. And with that amended tax return, then you'd be paying tax on any profits that you make there. But if you've intentionally not actually included on your tax return, then that's when the ATO will actually penalise you for not including it, and then you'll actually pay a high penalty, and you'll pay interest on top of that, as well as your tax that you should have paid in the first place.
Okay, that's really good to know. What kind of record should people be keeping if they are buying and selling crypto?
So pretty much when you're buying and selling cryptocurrency, you're doing that on an exchange. And each exchange has records of the buy and the sell. So each buy and sell will have the date of the transaction, which needs to be kept, obviously, the amount of the transaction, the cryptocurrency that it's in. You should be keeping the value in Australian dollars at the time of that purchase or that sale. And then you should be keeping a description of the cryptocurrency that was either transferred to a third party, or that you're transferring between wallets, or you're transferring back to Australian dollars.
Wow, okay, so that's really good. So what is it that people can do to minimise their tax legally with regards to crypto?
So keeping records is very important, because when you're keeping accurate records, you can make sure your calculation of your crypto tax is correct. And keeping records of any costs that are associated with cryptocurrency means that then you can substantiate that on your tax return, and you can claim that against any profits. Now, obviously, there's other options in the fact that you have structure options that you can look down, and that would be something as setting up a company or using a trust or self-managed super fund to invest in cryptocurrency. And with those other structure options, you have a lot more flexibility in how you pay tax on those gains. And then, obviously, very important, on a yearly basis, you should be sitting down with your crypto tax advisor, looking at what your portfolio currently is just before the end of the financial year, and looking what possible strategies you could do to minimise tax in that year prior to the end of the financial year.
Okay, well, thank you so much for all of that. If people wanted to know more about this or find out more about this, where can they go to find out more?
So you can go to my website at www.goodwillca.com.au. And you can send me a query there, or you can find me on my Facebook page, the Facebook page of my business, Goodwill Chartered Accountants, or you could find me on my LinkedIn profile.
Awesome. Thank you so much for talking with us today, Thomas. That is highly informative, and I am so glad you spoke to me about that so I can do my taxes properly this year.
That's okay. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. And thank you for joining us here at Crypto News Australia, your #1 source for all things crypto and blockchain.